Good morning, TFR.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Hi, this is Alan. I like Ironworx because it's where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came.
I love Ironworx with Josh, Walt and Zack. It's like sitting in your front room having a cosy chat with your best friends.
Hi, it's Diva here, and I just want you to know that Ironworx with Josh, Walt and Zack, it's definitely my favourite dose of reality. Come join the family and keep it flat.
Why sleep in when you could get your dose of iron in the morning? Listen to the Ironworx on TFR.
This is Enlightened Dawn. Roses are red, violets are blue. Iron Realm Media is the best on the planet. To this show, I will forever be true. You guys are truly the best, and I love you guys. I'm so thankful to have you in my life.
Do you like listening to space letters from Never a Straight Answer? Then tune in to The Ironworx with Zack, Walter, and Josh. Break clear of the fear on The Ironworx and become an Iron Scout.
It is Tuesday, my dudes.
And a very happy Tuesday to you all. Welcome to the Ironworx right here on Truth Frequency Radio, TFRlive.com. You know what? It's amazing that like 90 seconds ago, I was sitting here with my video editor open, just kind of playing around, trying to do some last minute tweaks, and realized that, crap, it's probably about time to start the show. And it was 59 after. So I thought, well, shit, I'll just go ahead and start this and we'll see if the fellas come strolling in. And sure enough, all three made it here by, 4 a.m. So it worked out really well. Morning, fellas. I know you're here. I saw you guys come in.
Hi there.
How are you doing?
Oh, I'm just waking up, man. I couldn't fall asleep last night.
Is this thing on? Okay, now it is.
Now it is.
There he is. Oh, man. I don't know what happened. I didn't take a nap. Well, that might have been it. I didn't take a nap yesterday.
I had to do it.
It's weird how it does that.
Mm-hmm.
How about you, Walter?
I'm good. Just, trying to recover from the holidays. That's about it. Trying to get everything open now. And say hey to the folks. Hey, folks.
So how was your gents' holy days?
Liz says we all sound like she feels. Thanks, Liz. I hope that's great. I hope we
Right.
all and Bill sounding amazing this morning.
Quite sure how to take that.
It was good. It was a good holiday.
Yeah, now that
Good
my
stuff, good family, good times. For all even. Got a couple things I was happy to get. If you're gonna get some stuff, some material goods, or just gonna be some material goods you'd like to have. So I did. The son got me a classic, a tube screamer, which I had been debating on going back to that after not having one since the 80s. It's an effects pedal for those who aren't familiar with guitar gear. Gear acquisition syndrome is real. Just move on. Look away. I'm hideous. But yeah, it's awesome. It is exactly what I remember from the 80s. If you crank it up the right way with the right amp in front of it, it'll sound just about like anybody you want it to sound like. And just about any album you grew up listening to, that little effects pedal's most likely on at least half of those tracks on that album, if not all those tracks. I'm looking at you, Nirvana. But anyway, what else? I don't know. Oh, a guitar little wireless thing, so I don't have to drag a cord around. We'll see how that works. I did not realize wireless systems had become basically like buying a set of cheap headphones, I guess. I thought, wireless was still a thing for like the performing higher end type cats out there. But yeah, it's nice not to have to drag a wire around when you're very limited in space here in front of the computer. So we'll see how the electronic interference goes or whatever. I think the most amazing thing that may have broken me. Am I talking over y'all? I just realized.
Nope, you're good.
Okay. Because I just realized my headset had moved and I wasn't hearing things.
No,
so
I'm listening with
afraid
rapt attention.
Sorry, suddenly it went really quiet. And usually that means I've pulled my headset loose, which that's one thing, in spite of all the hints, I didn't actually get was a headset for this system. So I guess I'll be doing the after Christmas sales. But perhaps the most amazing thing I got, my brother sent me something from Oregon and told me not to open it until Christmas Day and make sure and call him when I did. So I waited until all the madness had kind of died down and stepped off to the side a bit and called him up, opened it up. And as I began opening it, I saw the outside said something about a baking dish. And I'm like, okay. And then I opened it up, and sure enough, I can see handles of like a ceramic type, porcelain, whatever, baking dish. And I'm really utterly confused at this point until I take out this little middle center, like styrofoam piece that's keeping it together in the middle. And I pick that up, and there's my mother's cornbread dressing recipe in her handwriting embedded into the fucking bacon dish. I'm getting chills telling you about it and about to cry again. Needless to say, it broke me.
I bet.
Every time I showed it to somebody there that day, it broke me.
Breaking me now.
I got one from my sister and it broke her. Yeah, it was amazing. Really amazing. So that was probably the topper there. Definitely. Mom was here this Christmas.
That's good shit.
But yeah, it was great. We had a great time. Kids had a blast. Everybody was sociable. No undue proximity overloads, I guess, which tends to happen, a bit during the holiday. So yeah, everybody got along. Everybody had a good time. So, and you gentlemen, I hope had some good times. Good times. Yes.
Oh, it was quiet, just the way I like it. Now that my son's a relatively grown-ass man, I don't feel much of a need. This is probably the second or third year in a row you couldn't even find a Christmas decoration in our house. No lights, no trees, nothing. It was nice. How about you, Zach?
Yeah, same here. Called my mom and stuff, spoke to my sister and, not much else. I don't really celebrate it,
That I do.
I haven't for a while now. It's been probably the fifth year. The only reason I did it back home was over by my house. Even when I was living in Indiana, the house I lived in, we never did Christmas. Yeah. So it was a nice weekend. It warmed up for me. That's all I really wanted was to warm up a little bit, back up, and it did. I'll take it. How are you? Are you back warm again?
Yeah. Furnace will hold the house up over 63 degrees, so that's nice. Don't have to run the oven and the stove. That's nice. So yeah, we survived. Not quite sure what we'll do the rest of the winter if that happens again, but hopefully we'll have some time to try to figure something out. Because we did okay, because we kept our power on. Well, we didn't. Our power stayed on. But this snowstorm, I think, took the lives of like 50 people. Something outrageous.
Yeah, I hadn't heard that yet. That's what I was going to reluctantly asked because you guys heard what the count might be.
And that might have been even a couple days ago. It may have changed since then. So we got lucky because we kept power, but when it's negative 30 degrees wind chill out there, you don't last too long without heat.
Yeah, that's crazy. Power outages when it's this cold. I could understand if lines go down or this or that. But, I mean, they even sent messages out here. Please don't use as much electricity as possible to avoid rolling blackouts. Like, what? We've never had our power go out here because of anything like that. I don't know. It's amazing that...
Go ahead. Walt. No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, it's amazing it happens at times like these, you know? And I understand, yeah, we're using more power because it's colder out, but there's still places that aren't even opening up. Businesses, schools, places like that don't even open up. So I don't know.
Well, you know, here in the South, we're not designed for cold weather. You know, the lines get ice on them, they break. The pipes get frozen, they bust. We don't have electrical crap that keeps our pipes warm or whatever. I don't know what all. I've heard of different things, whatever. I just know there's definitely, you know, a difference in the preparations for wintertime here than you guys deal with a little bit more up north. That being said, however, you would think if you're building a system that everybody's relying on, you work into it some of these extreme possibilities, default, whatever you want to call it, and have that in like, you know, built into your system so that when and if this kind of shit goes down, people don't fucking die because they've become reliant on your bullshit system to get their energy that they could have been getting for free and living off of all this whole fucking time. But hey, I digress. So if you're going to be building this system, I guess if you want to kill off some extra customers, it's a great idea to do it that way. Wait, what did I just say? Anyway.
Did you guys see Parker new video?
You broke up whose?
Parker Edmondson, that guy that...
Oh, no, I did.
Yes, I think I did.
Yeah, he got one of the light bulbs from 1901. The same one that's in that... there's one out in California, I guess, too, in a firehouse that's been lit since 1901. 121 years now. And he got one of those.
And then what?
I'm about to say, now?
He lit it up.
About to do that myself. Wait, what did I say?
The light bulb was from 1901, too. They quit making these things.
What was the chant they used on the crow? When they'd go out there and start their fire? Fire it up! Fire it up!
Fire it up! Oh, wait, I was doing the wrong bit. Big bird, ain't T-bird. Big bird, ain't T-bird. Anyway, I'll stop.
It wasn't a bad flick. That was a pretty good one.
That shit was awesome.
Yeah. I wish they would redo that one.
Oh, I wish they would leave that one completely alone as it is.
Well, it's been a while. They could redo it now.
They could do a fucking sequel that doesn't suck holy hell out of the soul of whoever tries to watch it.
Could they? Prove it.
The third one was okay, a little tiny second, and then it got shitty too. Yeah, I don't think they can, John. I really don't think they can.
Are we going to be doing a show Friday?
I believe
sort
so.
Of danced around that and didn't really say yay or nay. Did we say yay or nay?
We did not say yay or nay. It was sort of dependent upon you, I believe, Walter.
Oh, no, don't put it on me, man.
Well, not whether or not we did it, but as to when your plans were.
Yeah, no, you're right. I forgot. That was the thing. Yeah, it pretty much was still not a settled thing. When I got my last update was, I'll let you know. So here's the thing. If it turns into a thing of a Saturday event, then I'll just make them work it out around me too. You know, I'll do the show and then figure it out from there. Somebody can take me there from here, which could be doable, possibly. or I'll just figure it out from there. We'll figure it out. So, and anyway, I'll, I don't know yet. We'll figure it out. If I go there Friday night, we won't be doing anything till Saturday anyway, so I can probably hop on a call and be on my phone. Probably sound better than this anyway.
So did you see the last thing that I dropped in the show prep?
I
saw
don't
this
know
and I
which one.
thought of you immediately, Walter.
Let me go see what it was, because I know I saw some interesting stuff, but you may have dropped since. Good Sarah.
I did not. This is Wayback Arcades.
Oh yeah,
the link.
that's awesome.
And it's,
tell them what it is while I'm reading over it.
I was just pulling it up, putting it on screen.
I'm sorry, I've got it on my phone. I didn't put it on the screen.
So
it seems like I looked at this when it first was going to be on like Indiegogo or one of the launching pad type places.
So they've got these amazing controller boards essentially that come built in with like 23,000 games. Some ungodly amount. The 23,000 game power console by Wayback Arcades. So it's got the old school joystick button type controller. It's like a pad, full size, that you can just hook up to a television, and it's got built in 23,000 plus games. So you can play it on your lap. You can build a cabinet, make it look like a actual arcade game, but it would hold, rather than one game or 2 or 3 games, it would hold 23,000. I just thought that was freaking unreal.
Yeah, that's quite a few games there.
I mean, they've got lots of those little gaming consoles like that, like the little Nintendo knockoffs that's got a couple hundred games in there, and you plug it into the TV with your AV cables, and away you go. Tapping away on the cheap little plastic controllers. But I really like this because it had the old school arcade type controllers for like 2 people, and you could just hook it up to a television. So you could build your arcade machine with a giant 32-inch television screen on it and just build the enclosure around that.
I wonder how it actually works, because it can't actually seriously have an actual arcade stick in the actual thing because of how those actually work with switches and wiring and things like that. Because I used to constantly replace switches on joysticks, especially the fighting games. Holy crap.
I bet.
But yeah, it would have to be something that would last, and you wouldn't have to go in and replace parts, because that's pretty much why joysticks are made that way. They take that abuse and have parts that are replaceable, so you don't have to replace the whole damn console. Because they take the abuse. We want to talk about a rollerball. Oh my God. But yeah,
So
that's pretty much.
Ever hear that warming up your car before driving in cold weather can damage the engine?
I know, I saw that.
I've heard that.
God. Oh, sorry. I just scrolled a little further down and saw the price there for that console, Josh.
Yeah, but you get a $300 off coupon. It's only $1,000.
So it goes from $1,249 down. Okay.
Yeah. Which is really kind of garbage, because you see how it says $995.95 for the cost of this power console. And then it says, hey, at checkout, enter promo code FIRST for $300 off. I thought, well, now that's kind of more reasonable price, $600. That's probably a little bit more doable for most people. It makes a little bit more sense. But I wonder if that's an additional $300 off. So I just went ahead and took it on to checkout to where I could put in the promo code FIRST, and not a goddamn thing happened. They've already applied the promo code, so fuck off. You don't get anything else. $1,000 is the best they can do.
That's pretty nuts. Pretty nuts.
Crazy for a bunch of indie games. I mean, and this isn't something you can play like a new game that comes out, right? No.
I'd be curious if it's upgradable.
And I don't care if I have every game, Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, TurboGrafx. I mean, it's 8-bit. I I can't even see Zelda anymore like I did when I was younger. I just see like a few squares now. It's so weird. As all these games and the graphics have advanced. I mean, Zelda used to be awesome. I could see Link and his, I like made the face happen and all that stuff. I just realized how much more I had to use my imagination, even video games back then. Now you don't even have to. It looks, geez, it's crazy looking. There's that one game that's
they've lazy that imagination chip right out of you. I know what you're saying. Trust me, the first time I was trying to do something crazy like make a cake top with a Mario face or something, and they had like this dot matrix thing to reproduce. Oh, that's what it was. Helping my sister, and yeah, it was like this is really how you make Mario's face. There's not a face there. It's a bunch of fucking dots. It's crazy. Yeah, but that's what we saw with little Mario running around. In the first games, I'm talking like when he was actually still a plumber, when he was fighting that monkey and things like that. As it progressed, yeah, it got 3D and became real. But those early ones that Zack's talking about, yeah, pretty crazy. And if you go further back, when you're playing like Adventure on Atari 2600, you were a square. Like, hey, I'm a square. I'm not a square that looks like a dude. I'm a square.
Yeah, I remember playing football. Bunch of stick figures out there running around.
Angelo P. Dema says the Earth is pear-shaped. Thank you for clearing us of all of our delusions, Angelo.
Yep, Bartlett, thanks you.
Mm.
The shape of the Earth has been brought to you by the California Pear Council. So what the fuck? I was just getting ready to say something and I completely blanked.
I do that this time of the morning. Wow, I don't even have the vault upon me. What am I thinking? Get that vault open.
A lot of these electric vehicle people are finding out batteries aren't that great when it's freezing cold out. Tends to happen to batteries.
You know what happens? I mean, I'm sorry. You know what's good during cold time? Like what works really well, almost infallibly well during cold time?
Horses.
Fire. Fucking fire. Remember that, people? Remember when we used to build fires and like stay alive around them? Just throwing it out there. But no, pay that electric bill. All right, we do have a minute still left or two.
Yep. But about 3.5. Ish.
Feels like I still don't. Oh, hello, Rockman.
So this is MIT Technology Review. The startup says it's begun releasing particles into the atmosphere in an effort to tweak the climate.
Like you do.
Who gives people permission to do this? I mean,
nobody did. Keep reading.
Startup claims it has launched weather balloons that may have released reflective sulfur particles in the stratosphere. Oh, that's got to be good. Potentially crossing a controversial barrier in the field of solar engineering. That refers to deliberate efforts to manipulate the climate by reflecting more sunlight back into space, mimicking a natural process that occurs in the aftermath of large volcanic eruptions. In theory, spraying sulfur and similar particles in sufficient quantities could potentially ease global warming. Dude, it was like in the teens in Louisiana. I can't believe they said global warming right there. It's not technically difficult to release such compounds into the stratosphere, but scientists have mostly, though not entirely, refrained from carrying out even small-scale outdoor experiments. Sure you have. Yeah, since 1994. And it's not clear that any have yet injected materials into that specific layer of the atmosphere. Oh, okay. So they're talking about in that specific layer. That's in part because it's highly controversial.
What?
Yeah. Little is known about the real-world effect of such deliberate interventions at large scales. Well, let's see. The Earth, shoots all this shit up into the atmosphere, kind of like polluting itself. I mean, volcanoes bring other bad things too, they say, down in the rain from all this crap. So let's just do it ourselves. The impacts could
there's not
be-
some kind of chance that there might be a balance in place, some kind of system that was like naturally evolved over time, or maybe put in place by a creator. Yeah, I would think, fuck that. Let's blow it in the fucking air, babe. Go.
Some researchers who have long studied the technology are deeply troubled that the company, Make Sunsets, appears to have moved forward with launches from a site in Mexico without any public engagement or scientific scrutiny. It's already attempting to sell cooling credits for future balloon flights. Oh my goodness. Several researchers condemn the effort to commercialize geoengineering at this early stage. Yeah, there shouldn't be any commercial. I mean, the governments shouldn't even be messing with the weather.
But they can sell you credits,
Ghost
Zach. They can sell you credits, buddy.
Gotta love government subsidies. Or however the fuck you say that word. Anyway, that's the end of the first half of the Ironworx right here, Truth Frequency Radio, TFR Live. Stick around. We got more coming up right after this.
Sometimes it's easy to be casual just about repetition and not get much better. How about the man who's been talking for 10 years, but he's making the same verbal errors he made 10 years ago? Or 10 years ago, he said, I don't quite know how to put this. 10 years later, he's saying, I don't quite know how to put this. We can give you 10 hours not to know how to put it. You can stretch our patience and take 10 days not to know how to put it, but we can't give you 10 years. 10 years is too long not to make enough progress in better language skill. So, repetition with purpose. The purpose is to grow and to change, to develop, to expand, to make progress. Here's some other parts to saying it well. Sincerity, from the heart, with noble intent, wishing to bring value. That adds immeasurably to your ability to speak well, communicate well. There's no substitute for sincerity. I can forgive you for a mistake in judgment, but I can't forgive you for a mistake in intent.
Discover the extraordinary powers of intuitive healing with pain transmutation, a method of holistic healing for the human soul, body, mind, and emotions. If you are looking for answers and a deep understanding of how to help yourself and the people around you to live a happier, healthier life, this is the right place for you. Learn how to read your soul's history in the Akashic Records. Remove negative energy attachments from your astral body and start the process of inner and outer pain transmutation. Join Pain Transmutation Community to get started on the path of intuitive healing. Change your energetic state. Manifest new and exciting experiences. Re-energize your life and build inspiring connections with others in our community.
We exist in the security and comfort of our worlds. Paved paths, lights, and manicured lawns give us peace of mind that our world has been tamed, and we are its master. But other worlds exist on the edge of our sight. On the edge of our awareness, the shadows move. The woods fill with the unblinking eyes of the nightmares our ancestors warned us about. Some of us have stumbled into these forgotten realms, whether on purpose or completely by surprise. I'm Brent Thomas. Join us on the Paranormal Portal Friday and Saturday nights from 10 p.m. to midnight Pacific Standard Time as we journey into the world of the paranormal phenomena.
Enter the Paranormal Portal if you dare.
You are now tuned into the truth frequency.
Your protection from deception.
TFR. Truth Frequency Radio.
Need input. Input.
And welcome back. Second half of the first half of the Ironworx kicking off right now. Were you saying something, Zach?
Yeah, it got quiet there for a second, so I just did what you did. The intro part.
Weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never heard it get quiet.
Oh, I must, I don't know. Brain part. No, this article, I keep reading more and I just keep getting pissed.
Yeah.
So here's how this guy started, right? His own description. The first two balloon launches were very rudimentary. He says they occurred in April somewhere in the state of Baja California, months before Make Sunsets was incorporated in October. They keep saying the name of this company over and over and over again in this article, too. It says he pumped a few grams of sulfur dioxide into weather balloons and added what he estimated would be the right amount of helium to carry them into the stratosphere. He expected they would burst under pressure at the altitude and release the particles. But it's not clear whether that happened, where the balloons ended up, or what impact the particles had, because there was no monitoring equipment on board the balloons. So he acknowledges that they did not seek any approvals from government authorities or scientific agencies in Mexico or elsewhere before the first two launches. This is in quotation. This was firmly in science project territory. Basically, it was to confirm that I could do it. You didn't confirm shit. Where'd the balloon go? What happened? What effect? How high did you get? You don't even know. So you don't know if it got into the stratosphere. Why? I don't know. Well, it's Mexico, I guess.
Science.
Down in Mexico. Now, to be fair, our government's been doing this since 1915.
To be fair.
To be fair.
To be fair. Shout out to all you Letterkenny fans.
Right.
They hope to increase the sulfur payloads and telemetry equipment and other sensors. Yeah, I think you should move to the telemetry equipment and other sensors first before you start increasing the sulfur payloads.
Why? Fuck it. Go for it. What's the worst possible thing that could happen? Destroy the world, right? Woohoo!
All I want to do is create as much cooling as quickly as I responsibly can. Over the rest
science?
Big shout out to TJ, Terrestrial Mac.
TJ, Terrestrial Mac. What's up, brother? Yes, long time. Miss you, friend. Come hang out with us. The show.
Staying busy, staying working. Buying new trucks. New effect pedals. All kinds of stuff.
Cool.
You know, as much as I scroll on Facebook, and I don't really scroll all that much, I just completely ignore everybody's post. I have never liked anybody's post. Maybe once or twice a week, I might comment on somebody's post somewhere. It's still
Yeah, I'm
weird.
never
So should
on
I pick up? What'd you say? Sorry, Zach.
Never on Facebook. I don't even click into it. I don't get notifications from it.
Yeah, I don't either, but I definitely have to go there a few times a week. Drop your show links, whatever over there. And that being said, I did kind of get off of doing that just because of just the crap that I see inevitably when I go there. And that's why I don't go there. And that's why I don't click stuff. And that's why I neglect people's birthdays and all the things that people do on Facebook. Because I didn't watch those people who do those things on Facebook get in fights because you like that and you didn't like this. And why'd you comment on that? Why didn't you comment on this? And it's like, hey, people, live your life in your fucking room. Don't live your life on a goddamn social platform. Anyway, I'm not referring to my in-laws at all. Sorry.
And there's so many new flat earthers. And these days, I don't really feel a need to confront ballers or interact with those heliocentric cultists that tend to frequent flat earth posts and flat earth pages. What I am finding the urge to do is to argue with flat earthers. I'm just having to learn to keep my mouth shut because it's not going to do anybody any good. Maybe they'll move on beyond where they are now. Maybe not. I don't know. I'm sure a percentage of them will not. I don't know. It makes me just want to go fucking live in a cave.
Yeah, it is getting kind of ridiculous out there. Some of the stuff that's being spouted as, we know this for sure, and blah, 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 blah.
That's just it. It's that truther psychosis where I'm just going to completely disregard everything that I was taught in school about the shape of the earth because it doesn't make any fucking sense and it just doesn't really work out when you compare it to the reality around us. Now what I'm going to do is just completely accept anything anybody happens to say that's titled flat earth. Because, well, it's not what I was taught in school, so it must be anything and everything labeled this. And I will just use that blind faith that I had in the spherical earth, and now we'll just put it into whatever anybody says that's on the flat earth side. All those pictures that said to have come from, not Cook. Who the fuck was it? I don't remember. But one of those Antarctic explorers, they had all these pictures of strange pyramids and statues and all that. There's just a whole, it's like a video reel of stuff out there.
Wasn't it Shackleton?
No. It was short, like Cook.
Okay.
It'll come to me. Or it won't because this is fucking stupid. But, yeah. I'm thinking there's no way, after all these years, we as flat earthers missed this entire catalog of photographs from Antarctica. I don't believe it. That's got to be just those CGI bullshit. That AI generated pictures.
Okay, so don't I remember a dump from Snowden of Antarctic photographs that we all goo gaga on, like sailing ships with rigging and shit on them and weird ice walls behind things and all of that? Don't I remember that? Like, right as I was in Oregon, maybe the second time, maybe the third time, something like that. I was definitely there. I just don't know which one it was. So is this supposed to be a new dump or what is it? I don't know either, Josh. I don't get it.
Yeah, it was supposed to be a new dump. Jesus. You know what? I bet you I can find it on Facebook. Because I know the guy that shared the video. Tom Wilkinson, I believe, was his name. Jesus. It's early. Forgive me. And I do not even have Facebook up. But I believe that is his name. Given the fact that, I don't really interact on Facebook.
Brian Metz is saying Edgar Reyes posted those photos. I don't know who that is.
I'd say I don't know who that is either. But I'm sure that's true.
I'm seeing people, I think it's AI claiming pictures from ancient Egypt as well. Like Egypt before we found it, I saw the Sphinx that was like buried way up, the pyramids buried way up, but it didn't look like an old picture taken from 150 years ago. It looked like something that was CGI created. Yeah, that AI art is so hyper realistic now that this is gonna bamboozle all kinds of people.
However, there's an app out there I'm not allowed to use anymore, a site called Photo Forensics. And on that site, if you put these photos into it, it will show you things that will allow you to discern the fact that this is not real. Just like throwing NASA photos in. Oh, wait, I'm not using it right. Never mind. Move on.
You just don't know how to use the.
I don't know how to use it. It
He
will
said-
actually give you the metadata for the fucking photograph unless they block it. And if they blocked it, why did they block that metadata? Why don't they want you to know the path that photograph took to get to you? To me, that's as telling as it saying it came from somebody's fucking desktop with so many.
We lost the telemetry data. It's like, there you go. Yeah, if you
Sorry, I
can't
just
show
had a weird thing pop up on my computer, and it's
a weird noise.
Weird, yeah. I don't know what it. Well, you heard it too?
Yeah, I heard it.
I don't know what the fuck it even was. I'm trying to find it.
Shout out to M.
It definitely
Fisher
distracted me.
talking about it being AI art using Stable Diffusion or DALL-E or Midjourney to do it. They, whoever M. Fisher is, also uses it. Creates disturbingly realistic pictures. It does indeed. Matter of fact, our thumbnail most every single morning these days is just some AI art that I created 6 months ago, 9 months ago, some shit. And I just created a handful of them, slapped the name of the show on there, and just sort of recycle through them every now and again. That's the only good thing I found about that AI generated art, is because you can use some of the algorithms to create some really cool artistic textures and things like that. Yeah, you can spend a lot of time and a lot of energy learning how to create photorealistic, deep fake bullshit, but it's also a really cool thumbnail maker.
Yeah, it's fun to play with. And I saw Daz talking about doing something with it earlier on Facebook, maybe fairy art he was using and putting it out there. Okay, so here's what I've done. I've broken my ban just for you people. This is the first time I've been to Photo Forensics since I was banned by its maker. Yeah, I said, fuck that, dude. I'm never going to your shit site again. But hey, I digress. There it is for you guys that want to use it. Now, that's the computer version of an app that does that. There's actually one for your phone that is available in the Play Store. I think it's called Forensically. I may be wrong, but it's the one I use more often because I'm not banned from using it by its creator like I was the Photo Forensics site. Let's see. Yes, Forensically is what it's called on the Play Store or the Apple Store. And you'll know you have the right one when you load it up. There's a fake picture of a UFO hovering over a city that's there for you to play with and learn how to use the app and see all the tells that are in these images. And once you learn the tells, which is a learning curve, it's not just like it's going to pop up and go, yeah, this is fake. You have to know how to read the information, which I spent a lot of fucking time watching videos and learning shit from the site itself, their fucking tutorials. But apparently I don't know how to use the site. I'm not bitter. I'm bitter. Fuck. I'm bitter. But yeah, go Ravage. Forensically, Forensically is on your phone. Photo Forensics on your computer. There's probably versions for both on both, but that's just how it is on my setup right now.
I see Walking Axel in chat. Laura says Dutchins has been reluctantly talking about star forts, which I think is interesting.
Yeah, he's all into the earthquakes stuff, right?
Yeah. I do believe that's right. I keep seeing, I believe, earthquake reports coming from his channel every now and again.
Yeah, I used to be subscribed to him and Suspicious Observer.
Sorry, I'm laughing at Daz's comment. I should mute.
a lot of these older channels that were all about space, you know, space weather. And yeah, Dutch Sense thought he had it. Whenever we line up with this planet in the sun and we get an earthquake and blah, 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 blah. And yeah, none of that stuff ever really panned out. There was some that had like weird, it was like when solar flares would go out towards certain planets and this and that. And yeah, I used to be into all that space stuff. But wouldn't it be cool if we had the actual real data of what's going on? Real numbers and altitudes, and I just want to know what they know. I don't want anything beyond that. I don't need to know what the sun is and what the moon is, but you know,
I wanna.
Yeah, we're kind of at a standstill about how far we can reach now to verify or, you know, dismiss a lot of our ideas and thoughts now. You know, we got the main part kind of figured out. A lot of it, just the puzzle pieces are starting to fall together with the data that we've been given. Now, what if none of this data is real? That would, that's why I want real data. We need, you know, people in the field daily collecting data everywhere like they have right now. Wouldn't it be awesome if we had a bunch of flat earthers? It was their job to go release weather balloons twice a day.
Input.
So yeah, I mean, it's, I don't know. It's gonna take some time. I don't know if that'll ever happen in my life. I said where we are now would never even happen in my life. That's just 7 years later. So I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, we need that collective push towards getting all the. I mean, and they have it. It's not like we would have to set up this whole system and this and that to start gathering the data. It's already being done. I just want the real stuff. Don't tell me that your balloon satellite went 1,000 miles up, you know, and I mean, it didn't. Or if it did, then, well, how do I get a balloon to go 1,000 miles up? You know, they supposedly did that back in the 50s. So, yeah, I want to know what our limits are. How high can we actually go? Because according to them, we're at the edge of the solar system or beyond it now, right? Billions and billions and billions of miles away. It's just so, yeah. And there's much people that are waking up, you know, daily. There are just so many children being brainwashed by schools, by their, you know, and it's not like they're being brainwashed purposefully. Their teachers are probably the same as they are and the same as we were way back when. But yeah, it's just, I don't know. I'm kind of ready for the next big, whoa, did you hear about that? You know, it's time. All you people out there sitting on it because you don't want to be ostracized and criticized and blah, 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 blah. Just get over it. Let's go. We could use a hand here. I just want the data. All I want. I mean, am I asking?
Yeah, no doubt.
The truth, just the data that's being collected, the real data. Just let me have that.
Well, you would think we would set up a group that would be more like scientifically driven, I guess, maybe base it with a lot of people who seem to have a pretty good eye on the scientific method. Just got to keep the drama out of it. And that's where it all starts falling apart. It's been attempted already a couple of times by some different people here amongst our little groups. And it usually falls apart due to personal drama. And that seems to be the downfall of most of what has been tried to be accomplished here amongst the truth community. Unfortunately, we're still humans with egos that inflate and deflate and get rubbed raw and etc. and are still led around by our media-driven psychosis. But we try. Damn it, we try. And I'm kind of, as you were saying all that, I was going through these ideas too in my head, Zach, and just wondering, like, how is there really a way to get through it? I mean, even in the straight world, you know, all the drama around tenure at colleges and rubbing the right elbows. And it's all a bunch of bullshit there, too. It's not really anything getting accomplished. If you don't follow what's already established, you can't come in and bring new science in and suddenly shake up the foundations of these fucking people's fucking careers. You know, they're not going to let that happen. And it would be the same thing, I think, unfortunately, here. You know, some people would get some, I see what you're saying there, Ryan, in chat. I didn't want to say it, but you are right on the path I'm on. Yeah, it's just unfortunate that when egos get involved, this is unfortunate downfall. And, you know, we can also, I'm here just for whatever. And then when it gets down to the reality of it all and it gets to the, I don't know, it just feels like.
Have a bunch of scientists. You need at least one administrator. You need a boss. You need, you know, that guy that's going to be like, this needs to be done by this time. Get it done, or we're going to find someone else to do it. You know? And we never had anything like that. You need the cranky old, like, human resource lady. There's a reason that they're there at, like, almost every company you go to.
We just need somebody who can keep the shit together and stay on top. Oh, we need Rose in charge of it. Fuck, what were we thinking? We got somebody already that can handle all the keeping it straight. There's a word for it, but it won't. Administration. Damn. Whew.
So
there's a reason they're around. Sorry, Josh.
No, nothing. I actually changed my mind. Decided to not speak.
We have about 3 minutes.
Robert Klotz there in chat would love to see you guys organize a simultaneous balloon launch from the far corners of the plane so we can show the sun is visible from all points at once. It's a great one, Robert. I also thought that if we could do all simultaneous launches and coordinate that data, that if all these balloons rose up kind of equidistant roughly to each other, then that would kind of show they were going up off a flat plane. If they all went at angles away from each other out from a fucking ball, it would be obvious, wouldn't it? Yeah, it would, but no, wind and da-da-da-da. How do you keep a balloon stable? I don't know. Once you ask the fuckers who've been doing it for 50 years. Apparently Rose is starting back up the Poppycock show January 3rd with Wayne McCroy. Awesome.
Saw that. That'll
fucking
be
awesome.
Rose needs her.
No, Nora, I wasn't saying Rose is a cranky old lady. I wasn't trying to imply that. She's highly organized. What's up, Hulk? Hulk flat.
Yeah, Rose, she needs to be on a show. She does. She's got that personality, that glowingness about her that people need to have some Rose in their life. They really do. It helps. It was upsetting when she stopped going live before. So yeah, that'll be awesome. I wonder when they're going to do it.
January 3rd?
is a
very good day to do it.
First, second. I think that's a Tuesday morning. Tuesday.
So 1 week from today?
I think. I don't know. It's early. It's before 6 a.m.
Tomorrow or something?
Yeah, it could be. I don't even know what today is. So
I got a calendar right friggin' here. The 3rd is Tuesday, 1 week from today.
yeah, that'll be awesome. 1 week from today, the next Poppycock report will be starting up. I haven't heard about any new debates or anything like that. So I'm seeing a lot of people doing debates that I've never seen, heard of before. And yeah, like you were saying earlier, Josh, you just want to strangle some of these flat earthers. Where did you get that? Are you thinking this through? Yeah,
it sure is. We're asking about Baldini being back on. I don't think so. I see him every once in a while going live. Head on over to Unintended Consequences channel, hit the notification bell so you too can be notified when he goes live. Otherwise, that brings us to the halfway point. We'll be right back for the second half of the show right after this.
My name is Ella.
Drink.
And I'm 10 years old. I'm one of the millions of children born to parents suffering from the sheeple virus. Symptoms include the inability to think for oneself, the attention span of a goldfish, and a strong belief in government and the mainstream media. It is estimated that 1 out of every 2 children are being raised by parents infected with the sheeple virus. But there is a cure. For as little as 19 cents per day, you can become a TFR supporter and help children like me get their daily dose of truth. Together, we will make sure every child has protection from deception.
Phony polls, I have to call them phony polls, election interference, fake polls, suppression polls. If you count the legal votes, I easily win. If you count the illegal votes, we can't let that happen. This is a case where they're trying to steal an election. They're trying to rig an election. Winning all the key locations, the observers have been kept far away. So far that people are using binoculars very far away. Votes have been in by election day, and they weren't. Votes are coming in after election day. Votes have been in by election day, and they weren't. Votes should be in by election day.
Those mail-in ballots could have been for anybody. Will Smith's father voted here twice since he died. Oh, goodness, kind of funny. But there was fraud. One of the things that does involve fraud is not making it possible to inspect. Gee, what happened? Come on, don't be ridiculous. Well, that works good. Biden was going to win by 10%.
Votes have been in by election day, and they weren't. Votes are coming in after election day. Votes have been in by election day, and they weren't. Votes should be in by election day.
Wherever you are, make it TFR. Truth Frequency Radio.
Good morning. I'm here. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up!
Wake up! What is dark matter?
Okay, we don't know.
That's great. That's why it's called dark.
It's exactly.
Everyone knows all reputable information comes from random people on the internet. Tell me things, internet. The earth is flat. It's like school in your hand.
Okay, dark matter is something we do not know what it is. We believe the dark matter is there, but we have never detected it. Well, what I'm afraid of course, is that there is no dark matter out there.
There was one?
There is no dark matter out there. We need to think really hard.
Hi, this is Alan. I like Ironworx because it's where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came.
I love Ironworx with Josh, Walt, and Zack. It's like sitting in your front room having a cozy chat with your best friends.
Hi, it's Diva here, and I just want you to know that Ironworx with Josh, Walt, and Zack, it's definitely my favourite dose of reality. Come join the family and keep it flat.
Why sleep in when you could get your dose of iron in the morning? Listen to the Ironworx on TFR.
This is Enlightened Dawn. Roses are red, violets are blue. Iron Realm Media is the best on the plane. To the show, I will forever be true. You guys are truly the best, and I love you guys. I'm so thankful to have you in my life.
Do you like listening to space letters from Never a Straight Answer? Then tune in to The Ironworx with Zack, Walter, and Josh. Break clear of the fear on The Ironworx and become an Iron Scout.
And welcome back to the first half of the second half of the Ironworx right here on truthfrequencyradio.com, TFRlive.com. You can also find us on our Iron Realm Media YouTube channel, D Live channel, Odyssey channel, Facebook, Twitter. We some places. We is.
Be some places. So I got a good one. This one makes me smile a little bit. Disney makes worst of the woke list for second year in a row. Imagine that. The worst of the woke. Many fans have voiced their opinions on social media and have rather intense takes on Disney's wokeness. Over the past 2 years, Disney has embroiled in the political drama. They've become accused of being too inclusive, according to some fans at times, and has been blamed as a leader of the cancel culture movement. Due to this viewpoint from some Americans, the new Tolerance Campaign 2022 Worst of the Woke list has decided to include the Walt Disney Company in its top 10 ranking for the second year in a row. The NTC, which is your, what was that again? Did I say it? New Tolerance Campaign. New or no?
Hell yeah.
I don't. So new tolerance campaign. In 2022, now ousted CEO Bob Chapek gave a masterclass on how not to respond to woke demands. Following the passage of Florida's Parental Rights and Education Bill, Chapek demurred when Disney employees demanded the company condemn the legislation, rightly asserting that corporate statements do very little to change outcomes of minds. Weeks later, Disney did an about-face declaring the company would support organizations seeking to replace the law or have it struck down in the courts. Florida legislators and Governor Ron DeSantis responded by stripping Disney of special taxation and self-governance perks it's enjoyed for decades. The public wasn't buying Disney's activism either, quite literally. Following a string of box office bombs, in November, Disney abruptly announced Chapek would be stepping down as CEO, and this was on a Sunday night, making way for his predecessor, Bob Iger, to return. Iger stepped back into the role. Oh, so let's take the guy that used to be. Of chief executive committing to quiet the obsession with cultural issues at the entertainment powerhouse and respect consumers of their content. Respect consumers of their content.
Exactly.
I don't get that.
Well, it sounds to me like maybe their editor-in-chief is just an overpaid stooge.
Yeah.
Or just anybody with general editing skills.
So this is, let's see. Many news outlets cite Disney's woke agenda as the reason for the company's recent decline, but that's not an entirely accurate statement. The definition of woke varies from person to person and media, making it a very fluid term. Minnie Mouse changing her outfit and higher inclusion efforts might be new changes, but they hardly constitute something that would break the company. However, despite what the sharks of social media might rip and tear over, the real problem isn't Disney being woke, but losing touch with its audience.
In what way are they losing touch with their audience? I wonder.
Because they're going woke. The new CEO said something that was probably a lie. I'm not even going to read it.
Cool story, bro.
Cool story, bro. And that's about the end of the article. Yeah, so, and this is from InsideTheMagic.com. So this is like a Disney article from a Disney, well, let's see, Disney owns 1/6 of all media outlets now. Aren't they now one of the big six? Disney, Viacom, Columbia News Services, or CBS. Now, there's only 6 of them, and they control like 95+% of everything you read, see, or hear. Wow, this just keeps going on and okay. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. So yeah, Disney's, they're trying to figure out how they're going to push all their agendas without the public knowing about it, I guess. I don't know. I mean, is this just the apocalypse happening? Disney's always been pretty satanic. I mean, when you go back through all the history and everything and all the
it totally blew my mind that first time I saw the Disney cup with Mickey written on the inside. And when you pour your cup of coffee, the reflection says wicked.
Are the coincidence of the 666 in Disney's logo, or the 33 Club, or all the sexual innuendos hidden in imagery? And it's there. I've looked.
The Little Mermaid back in the 80s. Do you remember the cover, the original cover?
Mm-hmm. Yes. I went to a Blockbuster the week I heard that, found one, showed it to somebody. I held it in my hands. It was there.
Oh,
Next
I
week,
know
it was
he
not.
still he
Somebody
probably
thought
still
it could.
has.
That's what I figured.
I know
Really,
a
that's awesome.
like all the videos on cassettes from like way back in the day, and she had just kept that cover for sure because I saw it. But yeah, right in the center of the organ, there's a male organ at the peak.
In the Rescuers, when they're on was it a roller coaster or
The
a train?
gondola.
I don't know.
I think it was a gondola.
Oh, a gondola, and they go by this certain window. There's a naked lady in the window. 100%. I paused it and looked.
Yep. Same.
Mm.
But that's just a little creepy, Walt.
Well, when I hear that shit, I'm going to test it and find out if it's there or not.
So I was watching the Rescuers and I found a naked lady, so I paused
That's
it.
not what I said. Not what I said.
And when I heard
always test things when I hear them. I'm not going to take it. You think I didn't wear out records playing them backwards? It's like, hey, hey, come listen to this. He's saying Satan is Lord, Satan is Lord. No, you're Satan. You're ruining my fucking records playing them backwards. Quit.
Yeah. Now, was it Columbia who did, or was it Disney, The Wizard of Oz?
No, that's not Disney.
No, that was Columbia, wasn't it?
I don't remember who exactly it was, but it wasn't Disney.
There was some wild stuff in that movie, too, in the background and whatnot that they had removed later on. Little
MGM, the Lion himself.
Ah. Yeah, I've been looking into, somebody was bringing up the naming of Columbia and where that comes from. You know, goes way back. And we're still under this rule. Oh, what was it? Not the Phoenicians, I forget. But it's old, like way old. Columbia, that's what District of Columbia is our national capital. It's not even part of our country. It's a district of this, Columbia.
It's a big three-crown corporation.
Yeah, it has to do with the Vatican and all that kind of stuff, and
the city of London.
Mm-hmm. Just weird. I don't even know if any of it's true. Like Washington, D.C. was called Rome before it was turned into Washington, D.C.
There's a reason it's built on 7 hills. Or perhaps it was Rome.
Yeah. Possibly.
Yeah, that's some old stuff right there. That's pulling way back out of the vault. I remember there being a whole list of comparisons to the classic Rome as we know it versus Washington, D.C. being where Rome actually was.
Kind of makes you think, that's suspicious. Ready for the next conspiracy music guru song. I've been jamming his songs in my head a lot lately. They just keep popping in there. Not like I see his name or anything like that. I just have a lot of his the flat earth ones, the funnier ones. I mean, I love all this stuff. I actually think my favorite is his reggae song. That might be my favorite of all of his stuff that he's done so far. I like the Bob Dylan version too. Sold My Soul. But yeah, the reggae one, man, that guy is so talented. So I found one. This is from IFL Science. Earth's, you might need the dinger for this one, Josh.
I'm not going to go old school. I don't even think the damn thing works. I'll have to go digital.
Digital, okay. So Earth's north magnetic pole is heading towards Siberia, and now we know why. So that's the head of the article, right?
It's good to know. At least there's a definitive answer now, and that they know that there's no longer this question remaining. Sorry. Good.
And then right underneath that, not even in like the beginning of the header of the first paragraph, this is just a line right underneath the heading. The North Magnetic Pole is on the run, and scientists might finally know why. It's easy to think of Earth's geomagnetic poles as features that are set in stone or ice, but both poles are not stationary and remain in a permanent state of flux. Since it was first documented by scientists in the 1830s, the North Magnetic Pole has wandered some 2,250 kilometers or 1,400 miles across the upper stretches of the Northern Hemisphere, from Canada towards Siberia. Between 1990 and 2005, the rate of this movement accelerated from less than 15 kilometers per year to around 50 to 60 kilometers per year. The study, published in the journal Nature Geoscience, argues that the changes could be explained by the toing and froing between two magnetic blobs of molten material in the planet's interior, causing a titanic shift. Molten material that's magnetic. Very scientific.
Yes, that's the Curie temperature, you know. Once it gets hot enough, it loses all of its mag. Never mind.
Yeah, you're thinking logically now. We can't do that. The North Magnetic Pole is the point at which Earth's magnetic field points vertically downward. That's so stupid. Dictated by molten iron that's sloshing around the Earth's interior through convection currents.
It's sloshing, is it? It's not spinning at a high speed in order to create a magnetic field? Okay.
Sloshing. It's sloshing. The recent shift towards Siberia, it seems, is caused by a blip in the pattern of flow in the Earth's interior that occurred between 1970 and 1999. The change resulted in the Canadian blob becoming elongated and losing its influence on the magnetosphere, causing the pole to zoom towards Siberia. This is in quotation marks. What we've discovered is that the North Magnetic Pole's position is controlled by two patches of magnetic field.
Patches? Is that how magnetic fields work? They're patchy?
Yeah, they're just patches. One underneath Canada and one underneath Siberia. Yeah, because those are like the opposite sides of the planet, right? And they act as a tug-of-war effect, controlling the location of the pole. Dr. Phil Livermore, lead study author from the School of Earth and Environment at the University of Leeds in the UK. Now, historically, the Canadian patch has been winning the war, and that's why the pole has been centered over Canada. But in the last few decades, the Canadian patch has weakened and the Siberian patch has strengthened slightly. That explains why the pole has suddenly accelerated away from its historical position. So this pole got weaker and that one got stronger. That's pretty much what they're saying here. And, oh my goodness. Okay, here we go. The researchers reached this conclusion using data gathered by the European Space Agency's swarm satellites. This trio of satellites orbit Earth and precisely measure the magnetic signals that stem from our planet's core, mantle, crust, and oceans, as well as from the ionosphere and magnetosphere. Keeping an eye on Earth's magnetic field isn't just important for the abstract scientific studies. The magnetic field serves as a shield of geomagnetic energy that protects Earth from destructive solar radiation. It is also imperative for many navigation systems, from the humble compass to GPS. So 1,400 miles. And so the compass is like, okay, I understand from us in North America, it's moving like directly away from us. So we're not going to get that much of a declination change. But say somebody in, like, I don't know, Spain, France, somewhere right around there, their magnetic pole, I mean, this should be shown on our data. And I know they've changed runways and stuff like that and had to relabel them because they said the declination was off a couple degrees. But in some places, it should be off, you would think, a lot more than that. Like at least 10, 15 degrees off, maybe. I don't know. I don't know if any of this is true. I tried measuring the magnetic pole shift, but like I said, it was moving like almost in a straight line away from me. So notice any change, it wasn't going to happen from my position on the plane.
I can see if there's a magnetic pole and it's moving away through patchy areas of the magnetic field or whatever. You might not get much declination if you're on a flat Earth. But if you're on a ball, even in North America, even where we are, if that's going over the top of the ball,
yeah,
to the other side, I would think you're going to get a considerable declination. But I don't know.
1,400 miles. That's not a hop, skip, and a jump. That's well down into Mexico from Lake Michigan. I mean, it was 700 miles to Alabama. So that's like, and that was the northern end of Alabama. But still, that's a big, healthy chunk of the country right there. And you double that, you're going a distance there. You would think there'd be some kind of magnetic, I mean, because it makes the four-leaf clover pattern. Eventually, the magnetic fields kind of loop, and come around. So those lines should have moved up north, and they should have changed some magnetic declinations dramatically, you would think.
Yep. You would think.
In multiple places.
So I'm going to create a system, and in that system, I'm going to have all these fucking things working, playing off each other, and they're all going to work together. And when I make this system, I'm going to make it a system of either A, automated completely, utterly, and I'm gone, never step back in. I don't have to wind it. It's got like its own perpetual motion going on. Or B, I'll have to step in every now and again and fucking rewind this thing, wind the clock. So if it's A, then perhaps what we're going through, this global warming and all the shit we all just had happen over the last 3 days with people dying and plants dying and all this freaking cold that's unusual entering our realm. All this crap with this magnetic pole, we talked about the idea of these being the centers of the power of this plane and how that center is movable or moves one or the other. If it's movable, then maybe there's a whole mechanical system that can be set and rewound. And if you find the power and the key to that whole system, then you control this plane. Or it's an automated thing that happens by this system resetting itself, getting ready to go another 500 years, 200 years, whatever the fuck these resets are. And so now as all these systems are kind of either winding down, winding up, about to flip, whatever would cause it to happen, the magnetic thing just flips over one more little notch in the perpetual wheel of magnets, whatever the fuck it is. And that's what we're seeing. All these results, all these crazy things, flooding in weird places it doesn't happen, fucking drying up of all these huge rivers, Mississippi, Euphrates, all the crazy weather things we're experiencing, the sky phenomena, the fucking cities that we see floating, and all the shit is all part of the reset, or it's all winding down and we're waiting for the creator to come back in and wind that watch pop. What do you think? One of those, maybe?
I don't know. What do you think?
I would say definitely
I
one
broke
of those.
this show again. Damn it. Why, Josh?
I just said, yep, definitely one of those.
One of those fuckers. Somebody in chat, help me out here. There's just too much going on that we can't put our fucking head around or understand. I get that, you know. It just seems to me that it's got to be part of that automated system. Doesn't that make more sense? Would you really want to create a machine that you have to come back and wind every 300 years? Wouldn't you want it to be automated? Wouldn't you want to just kind of set it off on its quantumly locked path, quote unquote, and let it do its thing? And when it spins around that thing one more time, it sets it all to go off again. That maybe that's all aberration is the fucking reset. Maybe it's just 4 years, 5, 3, whatever the fuck it is. I can't remember. 3? Is that what aberration is? So yeah, it could be that. Or it could be break time and I'll shut the flip up.
Hey, look at that. It is break time. Perfect timing, Walter. So that draws to a conclusion the third segment of the Ironworx here on Truth Frequency Radio. Stick around, segment number 4, fourth and final, right after these briefest of messages, and we will be right back.
When you hear the word attack, the word attack is not you don't feel low, you don't feel high. It's a cut. It's attack. Yeah. Attack means you got a target. Attack. You're going to destroy. You're going to handle whatever it is you need to handle. So for me, I'm attacking every part of what affects a child's life. So the leaders that are in the school, if they're not exhibiting the right qualities that they need to be exhibiting, I'm attacking them. I'm challenging them. If the leaders in the home are not exhibiting the qualities that they need to exhibit to help nurture this child, I'm attacking them. I'm attacking them in a way that I'm helping them, but I'm attacking them. I'm there to help you out. That's my mission. I'm ready to attack this problem that you're facing. Let me help you out. And then I'm attacking the students as well. I'm attacking their ability or lack of ability to challenge themselves to be better.
Hey everyone, it's Chris Gio, founder of Truth Frequency Radio and host of Beyond the Veil. The mainstream media and establishment are running scared right now, and they've prominently featured truthfrequencyradio.com as number 89 on the federal government's hit list, also known as the fake news list, which is essentially a list of sites slated for censorship on Facebook, YouTube, Google, and other social media. Now is the time for you to get involved. Share your favorite TFR shows far and wide on forums and social media. Tell your friends and family about your favorite shows. If you're a business owner, get in touch with us to feature your product or service right here on TFR. And if you haven't done so already, become a TFR supporter now and get unlimited commercial-free downloads in high quality.
Visit truthfrequencyradio.com/sign up.
Thank you for making TFR the leader in independent and uncensored talk radio. Truth Frequency Radio, your protection
from deception.
Once in a decade, a true story comes along that remembers the future. After 6 Amazon bestsellers, I have completed the epic Birth Trilogy, a true story of Earth. By reading the Birth Trilogy, you will journey with the characters from the origin of Earth to its final destiny in a white-knuckle ride that combines the intrigue of Tom Clancy with the epic scope of Prometheus and Interstellar. You will learn more about the purpose of life, the mystery of death, and the true nature of your soul than you thought possible. The Birth Trilogy is now available on Amazon and Kindle. The audio version is a free bonus when you buy the paperback, so even if you're not a great reader, don't worry about it. I read it for you. Use the Amazon app today and buy the Birth Trilogy, spelled B-E-A-R-T-H, or search for my name. I'm Brooks Agnew.
No hate, no hype, no fear. We are TFR, your protection from deception.
I'm starting off fresh and I feel good. I look good. I smells good. I am good.
This is Michael Tyson. You probably know me better as Iron Mike, but I don't go by Iron Mike no more because I used to be a monster. I'm a different person now. I'm all about happiness. But what is happiness? I'll tell you what happiness is. Every time I listen to my favorite show, Iron Realm Media. It's a truther show on YouTube.
And welcome back to the Ironworx right here, Truth Frequency Radio, TFRlive.com. Fourth and final segment. Kicking off now. Well, maybe kicking off is a little strong. But we are back. If nothing else.
Barely pushing off. Yeah, I watched a couple times.
Easing into it.
Some old ones. I watched quite a few boxing. I've been watching a lot of boxing lately. I always go back to the old ones, though. It's crazy. I know what's going to happen, when it's going to happen, and I still love watching boxing. Bob and I were talking about this yesterday. It's different than MMA, or I compare kind of boxing to like soccer or football everywhere else but in the United States, right? Because you can only use your 2 feet, you know, and like boxing, it's just
I can't use my third foot. Fuck that.
It's just your 2 fists. That's it. There's no elbows. There's no headbutting. There's no knees. There's no wrestling. You can't take the guy down. It is a science when it comes to like sports. It's very, very technical, and there's a reason that, you know, certain people always win, or, you know, these certain guys are like elite at it. And it's because I tried boxing a little bit when I was 17, 18, mostly just me and my buddies, stuff like that. But it's very technical about hitting somebody and not being hit or blocking a punch. It's not, I mean, yeah, some of the times they just go in there and lay waste to each other and just swing wildly and crazy. You do see that, but it's the little intricacies in between all that little stuff that you start to learn and see all the little nuances of it. And it's one of my favorite sports. It is. I love boxing. It's like a science. It really is. But yeah, it's, I don't know. It's still good. Boxing is still, I mean, there's still, you know, great boxers out there. But for the longest time, you know, we've had, I mean, articles and whatnot coming out about promoters having fighters throw fights or this or that, or there's even been where fighters were drugged. And it wasn't like drugged for the night. They were drugged by the other corner's, you know, promoter or whatnot, and died from it. Well, didn't die from it. Couldn't find a cure for it for years. I forget the guy's name, but I think it was like 4 or 5 years. He had this chronic, horrible illnesses after this boxing match he had, and they doped his drinking water with something. And they wouldn't tell him what it was. And he ended up going and finding that promoter in a hotel room, shooting him, and then shooting himself in the head. Oh, I forget his name. But that was one of the that doesn't happen very often, but it does. You'll hear boxers say it quite often. I think they put something in my water or this and that. So, it's just like so many other things where people try to cheat to get ahead, and it kind of tarnishes the sport. But it's definitely one of my favorite, and I love it because it's you. It's like a tennis match, singles tennis. You don't have a teammate you can blame anything on. It's you. You're the only person out there. There's no tagging, there's no timeouts, none of that stuff. Yeah, I love it.
I don't know. I guess I've moved my way out of it probably around the Ali era is when I last even pretended to watch boxing. As fuck, man, what was his name? I should know it. It's ridiculous that I don't. With the hairdo, the promoter, Don King. As he became more of the news story than the fights, I knew it was all bullshit. It just really was not anything. And then, really, truly, at the base of it all, I can beat you up better than you can beat me up. Really isn't a game I ever wanted to play or whatever. So it really just, like I said, probably the Ali era is the last one I really paid any attention.
Yeah, I started late. I mean, my uncles all watched boxing when I was young.
I am old as fuck, too, Zach.
Started in like 90s, 97. After Tyson had his, that's all my uncles were watching Tyson.
Yeah, I watched all that from way afar. You heard people talk about him and blah, 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 and just was like, okay, I believe you. Yeah, but it's different. You're going to see them beating each other up, right? Okay, cool. Y'all enjoy.
Yeah, I didn't get how, scientific like it was until I got older. And then I started really respecting boxing, going back and watching all the old fights. I remember a guy, he was amazing. He wasn't Mike Tyson, he wasn't that fast, and he didn't have the defense like Mike, but his name was Ike Ibeabuchi. And this guy was just destroying every heavyweight. He was huge. He was like Mike Tyson built, but like 4 inches taller. Just an enormous, huge man. But he got in trouble, went to prison, yada, 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 outside the ring, and ended his career. There's people even saying that someone had him, because it was all about over with a woman and sexual assault and this and that. But there was a lot of controversy around it. And they were saying that they think that other heavyweights and people in boxing had all this put together so he would be removed from the fighting scene because nobody wanted to fight this guy. He was that terrifying.
Like Rocky. I'm being stupid. I mean, even in the Ali days, I remember controversy. I remember, whatever. Like, I mean, I'm old enough to remember the whole controversy around him changing his name from Cassius Clay to Muhammad Ali. I remember the controversy being talked about historically about him not wanting to go to Vietnam and get paid to kill people he don't even know, and just all this stuff. It seems like there was even a fight. Man, who was it? He fought somebody, and they kept saying the guy had maybe put stuff on his gloves or had it on his.
Yeah, I believe it was Sonny
Lewis. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I can pull it out of the database, but dig hard enough. So yeah, I mean, even back then there was it Liston? Sonny Liston?
I think.
Okay,
pretty sure that was Sonny Liston. Yeah, it was like the 4th or 5th round. Ali was just owning him.
Couldn't see shit, and he was fucking him up. Yeah. Still fucked him up.
His glove rubbed in his eye. Yeah. Yeah, you could tell watching that fight that he was definitely not. Something was wrong with his eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Pawing at his face and this and that, and
there was a great documentary that came out a few years back about the fight in Africa. That damn it, what was the name of that damn documentary about the Rumble in the Jungle? I can't remember. It was a great great fucking documentary though. It got into the whole, just the iconic nature of these warriors and all that. And like I said, I get it at times. I get it, and then at other times I'm like, yeah, but I can beat you up better than I can beat you. Anyway, go.
103 degrees, something like that. I can't believe those men even fought that long. That was the one where Frazier was this the Ali Frazier fight or the Ali Foreman fight?
I don't remember. It's been too long, man.
I remember the second fight between Frazier and Ali. When Ali won, Frazier had quit. I think it was the beginning of the 15th round, I think. Maybe the 13th round, something like that. He was just like, I'm done. I can't do it anymore. Couldn't breathe. Ali said he was getting ready to quit. He was telling him, cut my gloves off. I'm done. I mean, yeah, boxing when it's 100 and something degrees, that's just stupid. That's never should have happened there or at that time or whatever they did. And I know over there it was like in the middle of the night even. It wasn't like the middle of the day. It was the middle of the night so people over here in the U.S. could watch it live. Yeah. No, boxing is...
Why do you think it was so important that people over here could watch it live, Zach?
I don't know.
So the bet makers could get all the bets in and get the results.
There you go. Yep.
Said bet makers. Bookmakers.
Bookies. Yeah, gambling is crazy now.
Trillions.
I mean, you can go online and gamble anywhere on anything anymore. It's insane. Gambling used to be illegal in Indiana. I mean, up until not that long ago, I remember when they first started introducing casinos up there into Lake County, Northwest Indiana, around Chicagoland area. They had to be on the water, they were like the big barge or one of those big boats. That was the casino, was a boat, because they couldn't be on land. That wasn't even that long ago. But yeah, gambling, I mean, there's a lot of money in gambling.
Oh, yeah, and you can't win. I don't care what you think. The house always wins. They wouldn't open the fucking doors in the first place if they weren't making money. Hand over fist. Oh, I can count cards. Yeah, they'll catch you and kick you out. I used to deal. I was all on the other side, taking money, hand over fist. And I learned quickly that I could affect the cards while I was shuffling them. And so, you learn those things and you start trying to make tips for yourself because they're not paying you any extra. Win that money back. In fact, you get paid extra for losing that money to the players. You quickly learn how to manipulate the cards in favor of the players if you're a smart dealer. Of course, that then gets you punished and you stand on a big wheel 6 all night and things like that. But anyway, you make money.
You the dollar table or the guess a number machine.
Right. the flip the coin or the
Walter was just there showcasing the car as it went around.
Right. I know the hand flip though. I can do the fucking Price is Right hand flip. Hey, I'm gonna make a left turn before we're over. I just realized we're getting close. Let me go back and see who it was. Damn it, I don't want to misquote. I believe it was Axel talking about in chat. Yeah, it was Axel talking about helping her niece put together some type of new kitchen, maybe kids' kitchen for the holidays, and having a nervous breakdown, having a asthma attack. Yeah, that was her. Okay, yeah. So let's hear it, everyone. What was your worst? Put something together New Year's Eve. Oh my God, somebody get me a drink. Oh shit, I haven't smoked enough to do this. Okay, here it is. There's tape on it that Santa Claus accidentally left. Sorry, don't take that tape off. Don't take that tape off. Mine was the He-Man Castle Grayskull for my younger brother for fall. when I was probably 13, 14, something like that, helping mom, or we were at my cousin's house, helping the family set up for Christmas. And, oh, wait, all you kids listening, I'm just pretending this is all fake. Oh, y'all stop.
That didn't sound good.
No, there's tussling in there. Territorial. But yeah, that one, the He-Man skull, capsule. I see that thing in a store, like the old kid, the toy store, like hidden away in the corner with a big plastic over it because somebody's trying to sell it for $500. I'm like, yeah, give me a torch. Just give me a torch. Anyway, that was my worst one. What was yours?
I don't have all the pieces to it, but it's got the little landing in there and the trap door still.
That's awesome, dude. That shit's probably worth some money. I don't know. I was saying 500 as a joke, but yeah, that shit's crazy.
He has it at his house. It's up in the closet with like probably 5,000 baseball cards, a few hundred of them, all in laminated seals and stuff like that.
There was some, man, what was that thing? Some kind of farm setup for one of my younger. Yeah, who would we set? I can't remember who we were setting it up for, but it had a lot of little things that you had to get just right, put in the right spot, and if you let go of one, it all fell apart, and it was like, but I can't even remember that. It's probably one of those Christmases I drank a lot.
I was always the one that had to put everything together. After we were done opening stuff, I mean, from like the age of 6, 7 years old, there was something that I had to, build, or my sister needed done, or my cousin even. I remember when he got the G.I. Joe aircraft carrier. Held like 106 G.I. Joes, had nubs for like 100-something G.I. Joes on it. It was just enormous. It took us like 4 hours to put that thing together. Loved every second of it, don't get me wrong. But I remember sitting in my cousin's kitchen just all day long putting, like when we were done, we didn't even want to play with it. We like took a break,
Yep. Well, Axel, weebles wobble, but they don't fall down. Damn. You're showing your age, Axel.
That's an old one. Like way back.
I'm not gonna. I kept the glow-in-the-dark ghost weeble until I was probably in my mid-teens, until I finally moved one too many times and it got lost in a box somewhere in storage unit, whatever. But I still had my little glow-in-the-dark ghost weeble.
I still remember when I told my mom I didn't believe in Santa.
Fucked it up for yourself, did you?
Oh, I got cold that year.
Right.
Big old rock.
Hey, sweetie.
Like, well, why don't you believe in Santa? I was like, because I saw you and Dad being the Easter Bunny. And I'm not dumb. Yeah, I still remember that. I was in my old house in Whiting, so I was under 4 years old. Now, Easter, it might have been right, because I moved when I was like 4.5, and Easter is after my birthday, so I was probably 4. But I wanted to catch the Easter Bunny. I wanted to see him. And I faked being asleep, and then I saw a movement in the living room, and I get up, and I peek through the crack in the door, and I see my mom and dad hiding eggs. Motherfucker, liars.
Mine was unfortunately way young. I was probably, well, it was in Mendenhall, so I would have been like 8, 7, something like that. And I was getting up to do something, go to the bathroom or whatever it was in the trailer we lived in, and saw lights and heard voices from down the hall, and I knew everybody should be asleep because Santa Claus is coming. So I walked on further down the hall, and there was Dad and Mom and bikes and, buying man action figures. And I'm like, well, what happened? And they were like, well, we heard a noise and got up to see, and look, Santa Claus brought all this stuff. And Dad's over there got bike parts in his hand, you know. So I was like, something's not reading right here, but I'm gonna go back to bed.
Yeah, I found out pretty early.
The fact that my trailer didn't have a chimney always bothered me as well. How the fuck is he getting in here?
Well, we had a wood burning stove, and it had that tiny little flue. I mean, this is an A-frame, mind you. So this is like
God, almost
25, 30 feet of stovepipe.
Pipe,
yeah. I'd look at Santa Claus and I'd look at stovepipe.
Yeah,
and I look at Santa Claus.
Ain't getting in there.
I look at the stovepipe. I said, shit, I'm not going to get a fucking thing this year. No, it was that same mental shock that I had when my parents told me that they were getting a divorce, where just sort of, I had to sit down. I got like the tunnel vision. I could feel probably my blood pressure rise and my face get red and hot. And I just had to sort of stop and comprehend what the fuck was happening. And as I did, then it was all the other shit, the Easter Bunny and everything else. I think my sister might have let it slip. And then I, needed some clarification as to what was just said and what was meant. And then they just finally came out and told me. And I just remember it really being a traumatic experience. Fucking liars.
Yeah, but I did good kayfabe in it for my little sister.
Exactly. That's what I did from that point on. Kind of was just kept it going as long as I could for them. And I mean, dude, I can remember setting up that stuff in Shreveport for Paul, and he would have been, 9 or 10 at least. Now, whether he still fully believed in his own heart or whatever, I didn't know, but I knew I was doing my damnedest to keep it that way for him, and Amanda, by that point, was already. But yeah, I can remember playing tricks with the Easter Bunny, running. I just saw him run over the hill and all that kind of stuff, with Mom trying to keep it going. I was a hoaxer.
And I remember when I told my mom, she just looked at me and, once I busted her, she knew she couldn't say anything. First thing she said, don't tell your sister. Knew I was right then. That was just confirmation.
Right.
And what sort of enabling example is that?
Right.
I was looking at Capalicious 420 in chat, and I debunked Santa very early and had to keep my mouth shut at school. Yeah, no shit. You can't have a alternative viewpoint when you're in school. You can't go around leading the others astray.
You can't tell the truth.
No, you'll incite some sort of revolution in the elementary classes.
You got to kayfabe with everybody else. Come on, everybody. Of course we landed on the moon. That's crazy to think otherwise.
I love the James Webb Space Telescope.
Oh, man.
Walnut is amazed that any of us fell for that bullshit. And yes, Ryan, Nemo, telling Nemo that the 80s were awesome. They were pretty awesome.
Remember,
but that's what the reasons that the media tells you.
Remember the Death Star? I remember.
Remember lead paint?
Oh, lead paint. I remember lead paint. Shout out to South Park, the Member Berries episode. Fun. So yeah, that's about going to wrap it up, fellas.
Real close.
Get the hell out of here.
2.5 minutes.
Well, we'll see you guys for sure Friday morning, and then whether I'll be here Friday night remains to be seen. Just fucking with you. Well, oh man, we didn't talk about the scary bitch in the AI pictures. Damn it. Loeb. I'm just saying it. Loeb, run. I'm sorry. Go look it up. I don't mean to do that to you. We'll talk about it Friday morning. Friday morning for sure. Yeah, I guess we need to show stuff. It's just, it's pretty disturbing. And be careful if you go down that rabbit hole. There is very disturbing artwork involved with Loeb.
I was just looking at Loeb.
Flat thumbs, Martin Leedka in the mother blipping house. What's up, brother? Good to see you.
Big shout out to Mark.
That's a dude we need to get back in here. I haven't had him in here in a long, long time.
Yeah, he's one of those guys you can get back.
It's because he's a real guy. He's a real dude. He's not here to feed his own ego.
So I've got a tentative guest lined up for an ASAP type of thing. It's like if we're not doing a show this Friday, then I wouldn't ask him to come on this Friday.
Right.
But it's going to be a blast from the past. I think it's going to be a really good one once he does come on. I'm not going to say who it is until the day.
Okay. Have we got any emails over the last week and a half or so?
We most certainly have. I think Josie sent us one saying that they might have heard that they did hear our Globebusters, that we might be looking for guests to come on and hang out. They sent an email. I think there's been a couple others. I did want to talk about that. That was one of the things I thought about as I was coming into the studio to start the show, and at least I made it before the end.
So we'll talk about that tomorrow night before Shoot Sting.
Before Shoot Sting. And we might just do a real quick overview of all the space lettuce that we've accumulated over the last 12 months.
Yeah, I think we should give it a little brief. Oh, we missed this, and oh shit, what happened here?
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff in there that we did miss.
That's in there, yeah, easy. So yeah, we're gonna have to slim it down a little bit.
Well, glad you guys all survived the cyclone bomb storm. Enjoy the rest of your week, and we will see you right back here on Friday morning for another exciting episode of the Ironworx on Truth Frequency Radio, TFRlive.com, TruthFrequencyRadio.com. You can also just search Iron Realm Media, and you will find us. In the meantime, be good, be well, and remember that we love you, and we'll be here. Toodles.